often have you given your best? This is a question that has huge implications in your life. When I was a 20-year-old student of a private engineering college back in Pune, when I was studying for my graduation, and I started thinking about doing something bigger in life, and I started thinking about going to an IIM. It was a big jump for me because my past had been very mediocre, and the biggest question for me was not about preparation for an exam like this, and I'm talking about it in this video not just in the context of preparation for an exam like CAT, but it's actually across all fields. You can apply the principle of what I'm talking here in any challenge you're facing in life. So when I was that 20-year-old kid who was trying to think about breaking barriers and going into an IIM, and I told myself that I'll go to IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, I finally made it to Bangalore, of course, as you know. Most of you will know anyway. So the biggest question to me was not about the preparation. The biggest challenge to me was not the preparation. The biggest challenge was the internal belief that had created a problem for me. The internal belief. The biggest challenge was the internal belief that I have never been a great student. I was always a mediocre student through school and college. And the internal thought process that was emerging out of my restrictive belief was always that people like you don't go to these colleges. They're only brilliant topper students who get there. You've never been one. And the damage my past mediocrity in my educational life could have created would have been huge if I had allowed that belief to play out. Unfortunately, what happens? To that Arun Sharma, I'll ask only 2 questions. To that 20-year-old Arun Sharma, I'll only have 2 questions to ask him. One is, you say that you're not good enough to get to the best places because you have had mediocre results in the past. So the results in the past that you've had are a function of the work that you've done towards them. How well you've worked towards the challenges you faced in the past. So if you have had a mediocre 15-year academic career or academic track record, it is a function of how much you work towards it. So my first question will be that how often did you give your best? And if the answer to that is not very often, then why do you take these results of 15 years, why do you take them as your truth and superimpose it on your future, right? And my only advice to him will be that if you think that you have not given your best till now, एक बार अपना best देखो तो देखो. You never know what barriers you can cross. So what happens in our life, the bigger problem of not giving our best in our outcome, in our challenges, in our lives, in doing whatever we do, the bigger problem is not just the fact that we lose out on outcomes. The bigger problem is that it starts creating a belief of mediocrity in you. Because if you work in a mediocre fashion, your outcomes will be mediocre in life. And if your outcomes are mediocre in life, those mediocre outcomes will create mediocre beliefs. And when you face challenges in the future, the mediocre beliefs will always pull you back from what you could have done or what you could do in the future. And that's the bigger problem of not giving your best. So one of the things that you need to start doing if you want to change who you are, if you want to change the definition, the underlying definition of who you are, the key thing is start giving your best into every challenge that you do. Just make a resolution that if I'm picking up a challenge, I'll give it my best. Otherwise, I'll not do it at all. So I'll give it my best. Start turning this around. This philosophy, start changing it from the stupidity that we have worked with till now, जहाँ पे we ask that question of ourselves कि कोई काम हमको मिलता है तो उस काम को मैं क्यों अच्छे से करूँ, मेरे को क्या मिलने वाला है. You know, सबसे बड़ा चीज़ जो होता है when you do a work well, when you give your best to what you are trying to do, the biggest thing is the satisfaction, the internal satisfaction that you draw from doing it, and start getting the invigoration from that. And start giving your best in everything you do, and break out of this circle of mediocrity, right? I'll talk more about the circle of mediocrity later, but the key thought here was mediocre outcomes lead to mediocre self-beliefs, and mediocre self-beliefs lead to restricted performance or underdone or undercooked performance in the future, which continues as a self-fulfilling prophecy for the rest of your life. So you have to break out of this pattern, and you have to start giving your absolute best in your future and in your present goals, in your present endeavors, in your present challenges. So that was me, Arun Sharma. And I hope you're liking my series. Do like the videos, do share the videos, do comment on the videos, and I'll see you again with the next one. Do subscribe to the channel. Goodbye.